We come to our time during worship for prayer, and I need to comment first. I've served in churches that are highly organized so that everything you do on Sunday is in the bulletin, you read it, it's all choreographed. I have more fun when you don't know what's coming next. Because, and honestly, I think the early days when the church first started, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. All they knew was to gather because Christ called them to come together. And they figured it out as they went along. And to me, that's closer to the Spirit working in you, figuring it out as you go along and listening when God comes in to your life. There are a couple names here to mention. First, in case you didn't notice, Elaine is in the back. She's not hiding. It's just... it's a really soft place, and she can put her leg up in the air back there. So she's doing better. A friend of ours, Bob Bond, also had knee surgery, is not doing as well, although he's starting to improve. Please remember Bob Bond in your prayers. And as Bonnie mentioned early, Martha Kilby has requested that we remember the Rigler family, her aunts, having lost a second sister yesterday, and it's hard to lose family members, as we all know. You may have other names of individuals that there are concerns about, or joys, or other things that you'd like to share at this time. Yes?
Leroy's, my brother Leroy, everybody knows Leroy. His legs are getting kind of worse, and he's just really having trouble walking again real bad. He just don't want to take any chances anymore, and he's really having a problem walking, so give him a call, get his spirits up, okay? Anybody that knows him, get his spirits up. Say a prayer for him.
That's Leroy with leg problems, and if you do know him, call him, send him a note, whatever, to help. Are there others? Seeing no others, let us begin our prayer time with some moments of silence. As always, dear God, it is a joy to gather in worship. Amidst the sometimes confusion of life, or the overwhelming activities, or the different things that pull us in so many directions, it is good to take some time to sit, to ponder your presence in our lives, to take moments out in silence, to greet with friends and neighbors and even strangers here for the common purpose of lifting our lives up and putting them once again in your hands, trusting in your judgment and your guidance, knowing that you empower us to do those things you would call us to do, and knowing as well then when we worry, when we are concerned, when we don't know what is next, you will show us the way if we open our hearts and our minds and listen and follow when we hear your call. Help us, dear Lord, as we come together this morning to not worry as much as we do. There are some here who seem to worry about everything. We're worried about how much snow we're going to get and what we're going to do about it. We're worried about the newest health problem or the world situation or somebody in our family. And even though those are things to be concerned about, worrying does us no good. Instead, we are called to put our concerns in your hands and trust that you will care for us and give us a vision as to deal with whatever life might bring. Be in the lives of all of those people who have been mentioned at the beginning of our prayer, and in those who have been unmentioned this morning, because in the hearts of some of those gathered here are concerns about people, family, and friends. They have not been mentioned, but you are aware of them. Touch those people who have special needs. Touch them in such a way that they are aware of your presence and filled with the power of your Spirit. And before we leave this place today, dear Lord, before we leave this sanctuary and go back into our regular lives, help us to understand that you have given us a commission. And that commission is to go into the world and share the message of your Son with those whom we meet. Not just family and friends, but with people whom we don't know well. There are so many seeking to know your Son, who need something in life that gives them purpose and hope. We know who gives that purpose and hope. Help us not to hold it in, but to share what we know in our faith so that others may come to Jesus and declare him Lord. And now we ask that you would hear us as we share the prayer that your Son has taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.